Is Oktoberfest in Munich just about drinking beer? Maybe. We spent 2 days there last week, and in this short video, I just want to give you a little impression of what we did and what it was like. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides. I've been making travel videos for over 15 years of popular and not so popular tourist destinations to give you a very honest, unofficial look at what it's like to be there. I also wrote a little book of travel stories called Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship. It's available on Amazon now. And this was actually not my first visit to Oktoberfest. I've been going there every few years since around 1995. One thing that many people are surprised about is that Oktoberfest actually starts in September. And I know most of you watching this are in North America, many in the United States, and I think the closest thing that you can compare it to is like a state fair. It's a 2-week-long festival that happens once a year. And yes, there are gigantic beer tents where the first gigantic beers are served at, I think, 11:30 in the afternoon, and the party goes until around 11 o'clock at night. I think most people in the United States call this a stein of beer, but I have to be completely honest with you now, after living in Germany for 26 years, nobody in Germany calls that a stein of beer. It's a Mass, M-A-S-S. These gigantic beer tents are like a big party hall, and depending on what time of the day you get there, it can be really difficult or even not possible to get a seat. There are ways to reserve in advance, but it's kind of one of those things that if you don't know somebody who knows somebody, you're probably not gonna get a reservation. So if you really do want to experience the fun in the beer tent, and you kind of have to, then I recommend getting there around 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon and not later, and then find a friendly looking waitress or waiter and ask them if they can help you find a spot in the non-reserved section. This is one thing that is part of the fun, and that is you're gonna end up sitting with people that you don't know, and those are gonna be the people you party with then for the next few hours. So yeah, you might sit down with these 4 people, and then after an hour, they leave, and then other people come, and then other people come and sit on this side, and you just kind of meet people from all over the world, and it's a fun, interesting way to socialize. The later you stay, the crazier the atmosphere gets in these tents. And let me just remind you, this Oktoberfest beer it tastes very light. You can drink it really easily, but it's a stronger beer. It's 6.6%. So just make sure you pace yourself. And yeah, if you don't like to drink beer, there's still a lot of other good reasons to go to Oktoberfest. Even if you want to go into the tent, they have non-alcoholic beer. They have, of course, soft drinks and wine. They have amazing, really traditional German food. But I have to be honest, people, Oktoberfest has become really expensive. One Mass of beer this year was 15 euros. And look at these food prices. That's like gourmet food prices. And I mean, this food is good, but you don't need to be paying like Epcot World Showcase food prices to get good German food when you're already in Munich. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat in the tent, but it's definitely not for somebody on a small budget. And don't forget, if you're gonna be drinking beer all day, you need to have a solid base in your tummy. And other than the beer tent and the party atmosphere inside, there are tons of other fun, like ride through haunted houses, carnival fun houses, crazy things that would never exist or be allowed any longer in like the United States just for lawsuit reasons. There's a thing called the Teufelsrad, which is like a mix of a game and a spectator sport. You pay 5 euros to get in, and then you can watch as long as you want and participate if they call you. What it is it's just this spinning disc in the middle of like a little arena, and then they say, all right, for the next round, any guys in lederhosen, any women over 30, any men with no hair. And then all the people who fit that category pile down onto this disc, and it starts spinning, and the game is just who can stay on the longest. And something about it is just so entertaining. There are also crazy, gigantic, portable free fall towers and roller coasters and things like that, including the Olympia Looping, which is the largest transportable roller coaster in the world. This ride is insane when you consider that they take this down, put it on trailers, and then put it into storage until next year. If you're into roller coasters, definitely worth it, but just, again, talking about the budget, this year, one ride was 12.50 euros. And there is no all-day pass. You pay per ride for every ride. And altogether, just being at Oktoberfest, just being on the Wiesn and soaking up the atmosphere can be a lot of fun, even if you don't want to go on a ride and don't want to party in the beer tent. The people watching at Oktoberfest, especially later in the night, is also extremely entertaining. If you want to see a more detailed guide about how I would recommend you planning your Oktoberfest visit, I've got one linked in the description box here that I made a couple years ago. This video was just sort of a one-off thing I wanted to post here to let you know, hey look, we were just here a couple days ago. And like I said, if you want more details, ask me a question in the comments or go watch that video from a couple years ago where I go into a lot more detail. If you've watched this video until now, thank you so much. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider doing it. It really helps me out. Just like any comment, a thumbs up, or picking up a copy of Getting Stitches on a Cruise Ship, that all helps me out too. I'm Morgan from the Very Unofficial Travel Guides, and I hope to see you back here soon. Auf Wiedersehen!